These are the required points to express in your ad. Feel free to paraphrase and speak from your own experience. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. So, it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And please make sure, this point, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Do you know the spelling of anchor.fm? ANCHOR.FM. Thank you for your listening. See you. Hello everyone, I'm Richard Gon of Back to Live podcast version. This time I'd like to inform you of the publication of our book, and for these days I have written a book, and the title, let me introduce the title of the book. The title of the book is Instruction for Getting Masochistic Men Slaves, and this is the main title, and I added something like prefix, and the whole title, or the entire title of the book I have just written is For CFNM Fans, Instruction for Getting Masochistic Men Slaves, and which is about sadomasochism book, and the intended target, or the main target readers of the book are sadistic ladies and sadistic girls. But actually, I wrote a book, and I wrote some case studies into the book, and which is why masochistic men and masochistic boys can enjoy that book, which is how I created that book. So of course, the purpose of the book is, the purpose of the book is to help sadistic ladies and sadistic girls and masochistic boys and masochistic men enjoy their own relationships. I wanted to help those sadistic women and masochistic men to construct or create lovely relationships and keep such lovely and fruitful relationships. Which is why to help such relationships, I created that book, and which is why, and I'd like you to check out the content of the book. In this episode is for introducing the book I wrote. So that is, thank you very much for your listening. But before really ending this episode, I'd like to introduce some parts of the book. And of course, I don't introduce all the entire contents to you, but so first of all, this has some chapters, and the chapters start from preface, and I write, and before reading all the contents, or before reading the entire story of this book, I'd like you to check out the preface, which is written in chapter 1. And in chapter 1, I wrote the intended, or the main target readers of the book I wrote, and I wrote so by your reading that preface, you can understand that the intention of my having written this book. And of course I wrote the purpose of my writing this book, and of course indexes are attached into this book, which is why you can go anywhere you want, or any chapter you want, by using indexes. So I named each chapter to let you know that what is written in each chapter. So if you are novice, or if you are beginners of, for example, I mean, if you are sadistic ladies or sadistic girls, but if you are beginners, or if you are novices of bullying, tormenting, or torturing masochistic men or masochistic boys, I'd like you to read or the entire story of the book. But if you are, for example, if you are professional torturer, or if you are professional sadistic ladies or sadistic girls, you don't have to read all the contents written in the book. So only parts are helpful for professional sadistic ladies or sadistic girls. And if you're masochistic men, or if you're masochistic boys, so I think you can enjoy the book, because as I said minutes ago, so case studies are written in the book, which is why by reading which I think you can enjoy those case studies. And of course, what is introduced in the book is how to torment masochistic men and masochistic boys, which is why masochistic people can enjoy only by reading the book, which is how I wrote that book. So of course, main target readers are sadistic women, but of course, masochistic men can enjoy reading the book. So, but please be careful, or please make sure that what I like to do by writing this book is to help sadistic women and masochistic men create and keep such lovely and favorable and fruitful relationships forever, or for a long time. Which is why please do not use that book just for bullying or humiliating or tormenting people who are not masochists. So this is created for if you are sadistic women, and if you are masochistic men, this book is created for your enjoying the relationships with your own partners. And those partners has to be one of the partner has to be sadistic woman, and the other partner has to be masochistic man, which is ideal, or which is a suitable couple for reading this. Considering reading this book, this book is suitable for such couple in which one of that couple is a sadistic girl, and the other is masochistic boy. Of course, this book is applicable, or of course, opposite couple, which means if you're sadistic boy and the other is masochistic girl, such couple can enjoy. I think such couple can enjoy reading the book I wrote, and I'm introducing now. But my intention is to help the couples of sadistic ladies and masochistic boys and masochistic men. So sadistic ladies and sadistic women and masochistic men are the couples I wanted to help by writing that book, which is the intention of my writing this book. So this is all the stuff I'd like you to know. So please make sure that please do not use just for bullying, tormenting, torturing, or humiliating people who are not masochists, or people who are not interested in such masochistic relationships, which is what I'd like you to know. That's it. Thank you very much for listening. And before really ending this episode, the link of the book is pasted or written in the description column of this episode. So by checking out the description column, you can reach the reach the link, or you can access a web page in which the book is sold. So this episode is also plays a role of advertisement, which is why please make sure that you can check the book. You can check the link selling the book. That's it. Thank you very much for listening. See you.